Christian men, want your first date in 30 days? Book a free 30-minute game plan. I'll fix your profile, give you a first date script, and I'll give you a simple 30-day plan. Spots are limited this week. Answer a few quick questions, pick a time, and I'll text your confirmation. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're talking about cuffing season, the cuffing season trap. And I want to first explain what the cuffing season is. Cuffing season is when it starts getting a little chilly and people want to be cuddled up with their boo. You know what I'm saying? Typically, it starts from October going all the way to around February. That's the time frame of when cuffing season is. So that's why this video is very relevant. So be sure to stick through it to the very end. And what I want to help you guys be is more than just a cuffing season boyfriend, but an all-season boyfriend. And that's what this video is about. Let's get straight into it. When it comes to being an all-season boyfriend, it can actually come from the cuffing season, because although cuffing season is when women start looking for a boo to take to their family, to take to their friends, for these events, you know what I'm saying? For the Thanksgiving party, the Thanksgiving holiday, for the Christmas parties, the Christmas holiday. It's a time where people don't want to be alone. And you got Valentine's Day, you know what I'm saying? People don't want to be alone on Valentine's Day. And these events, these things are what really propel the cuffing season. Of course, you know you got the Christmas movies, right? Almost every movie, someone's kissing, you know, you see a happy couple. It just really puts people in this place of wanting a partner. That's what we're talking about. And I want you guys to understand something. Although people are dating, a lot of people date for the cuffing season, meaning they're looking for something that's more short term. Based on who you are, you actually can turn that into something long term. And I'm gonna talk about some traits, some characteristics, some ways to really shine. That way you improve your chances of not just being a seasonal boyfriend, but being a permanent boyfriend. Of course, by God's grace, leading to marriage. You know what I'm talking about? So let's get into that. When it comes to traits that you want to show traits that exude husband-like qualities, right? Here's what I'm talking about. How you carry yourself is very big. You need to understand that when you're dating these women, especially around this time frame, you need to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? The reason I say being yourself is you want to carry yourself, you want to be yourself, but also carry yourself as the best version of yourself. You want to be yourself, but you need to carry the best version of yourself, because you don't want her to fall in love with who you're not. You know what I'm saying? And you need to keep this in mind. When someone falls in love with you, they fall in love with the version of you and also the potential they see in you. So if you're giving them a false version and they fall in love with that false version, then later on in the relationship, later on when you're dating, they see signs, they see signals that are contrary to what you were portraying before, because maybe you're showing a version of yourself you really wanted her to see, but that wasn't even close to who you really were. And now, and as you continue in the relationship, maybe towards the end of cuffing season, now some of your true colors start showing. It's gonna cause a huge issue and things can end. So you want to be sure to, first of all, be who you really are. That means when you like certain hobbies, you like certain things, you don't have to be a billboard on a first date saying, I like working out, I like anime, I like cooking. Look, you can be real with who you are by not lying about those things. But if it's not asked, if the conversation isn't there, you don't have to magnify it, right? But you could just keep it a buck, you know what I'm saying? If someone asks about some of your hobbies, you can slide some of those things. And when you do so, don't be embarrassed, own it, because the person God has for you will love you for who you are and where you're going as well. And that is something I want you guys to keep in mind, because when it comes to the cuffing season, you want to be who you really are, but on top of that, you want to look at the person that is interested in you, because when people want something short term, it's more of a transactional process. You know what I'm saying? It's more of what can I get from this person in a certain time period, not is this the person I could be with for the rest of my life. Although you can change, as I said earlier in the video, from the former to the latter, from cuffing season to permanent everyday boyfriend season, from cuffing season to permanent husband season, every season, you know what I'm saying? You need to understand that people that are looking for something short term, they don't really care as much about you. It's more about the image, not who you are. It's more about looking for something that's superficial. It's more of just wanting someone to fill the placeholder of boyfriend while they're maybe not that into you, while they're maybe not that invested in you. Hence why after the season ends, well, okay, it's time to go our separate ways, because you need to understand something. If a woman is really interested in you, she's not gonna want to end things just because of a season. She's gonna want to be with you forever, especially if she sees you as someone that she can be with for the long term. And I'm talking about the father of her future kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's who you want to be. But you just need to understand something, that you can't be the right man for the wrong girl. So it's important, yes, be true to yourself. Of course, carry the best version of yourself, not of someone else. But number two, on top of that, you want to be really aware of what are the vibes this person is giving off. Is it purely transactional? Is this something to where they're just really not focused on a deeper connection? And you can know, because conversations, the surface level conversations you have at work, if that's all the relationship is built on, it's not something that's gonna last. But if it's something that goes deeper, you guys are talking about deeper topics, that's a good sign that things are going in that direction. And keep in mind, people can talk about that and it doesn't really mean anything. But this is where you need to use your discernment. You need to look at multiple things, not just one thing. Because if you guys are having deeper connection, meaning you guys having these deeper conversations, how are the vibe? You know what I'm saying? Is she reciprocating, meaning that she's also wanting to know more about what's going on in your life? Is it both ways? Is it mutual? Are you guys both showing interest in each other? More than just interest to a surface degree, but actually wanting to really understand each other, understand what each other likes, understanding each other's pet peeves, really understanding what drives the other person, understanding their past, understanding where they're wanting to go in the future. Those are things that people don't really care as much in the surface level. More surface level conversations, more of how much money do you make, college do you go to. Things on that level are way more surface level. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Is it more transactional, or is it something that's more than that? Is it more of a deeper connection? Another thing you want to look at as well, the third thing, you want to look at the pace that things are taking. What I mean is, are you making progress on the dates? Are you making real progress before you guys become boyfriend and girlfriend? Because if it's something to where you guys are dating, it's just surface level dates, like the conversation I mentioned before, you guys don't really have any type of a connection, and then you guys end up being boyfriend and girlfriend, that is a huge sign that it's probably just surface level and it's just seasonal, it's just transactional. You're gonna be a guy that's gonna be in her life and then out of her life. But if it's something to where you guys are having long conversations, FaceTiming for, multiple hours, you guys are over here just love texting each other, you guys really enjoy each other's presence, that is a whole different aura. That is a whole different vibe. And that is gonna be a good sign to look at that lets you know the person sees you more of just a short-term fix to their temporary loneliness problem, but as a person that can actually be in their life, not just a cuffing season boyfriend, but an all-season boyfriend and a potential husband, right? So keep that in mind. When you're moving, you want to look at how things are. How deep are they? If you can't seem to penetrate past the surface level to get into her personal life, and she can do the same with you, and you guys don't have that connection, you guys don't enjoy talking to each other, you guys just keep things on a surface level, odds are it's gonna die out when the season is done. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And I do encourage you, men, as men of God, as the Bible says for us to number our days, you want to spend time being intentional. And I understand the cuffing season trap, because it's the holidays. I've fallen for it. You want someone just for the movies, just for hanging out with the family, just for the season being cuddled up, but you don't want to really desire someone, and that person you really desire just sees you as a transactional piece. That person you really desire just sees you as a right now thing, and you're thinking in your mind, you're fantasizing of this long term with them. And that's what I want you guys to be careful of, because just because you want someone and you want them in your life forever, it doesn't mean they see you in the same way. And that's why it's important to look at the signs I mentioned in this video, and keep in mind that just because things started off to where it was transactional, she saw you as maybe just a boyfriend that's gonna help fix your loneliness problem, it's just a right now thing, then eventually you guys are gonna go your separate ways. It doesn't mean that things can't change, especially if you're yourself and you guys start vibing, because there are relationships that start off with just cuffing season short-term goals, and it ends up becoming actual marriages. So that is a very real thing. And I would hardly advise you guys, if that's what you're really looking for, work on having a deep connection with the person, because things can change. But more than that, I would advise you guys that if you feel like it's something to where it's more of a right now vibe, you guys don't really have a connection, yes, maybe you guys are attracted to each other, but then I'd say it's probably in that direction. That odds are it's just gonna be a cuffing season thing. And you need to understand this. When there's something real, when there's something deep, that is what's gonna last. That's what's gonna be more than seasonal, and that's what you're really looking for. So I want you guys to walk away with this video understanding that if you guys look good on pen and paper, but none of the connection is there, none of the emotional intimacy is there, it's more of, hey, you're a hot-looking person, they're a hot-looking person, you guys are looks compatible, you guys like some of the similar things. If it just sounds good on pen and paper and you're someone that they can tolerate, but not someone that they actually desire, they actually want to know, they actually want to really learn about, they're actually really curious about, they actually truly want to understand how they work, and you have that mutual desire for her, odds are that's just going to be a seasonal thing. So I want you guys to focus on the real thing and not just the cuffing season thing. So brothers, I hope you got value from today's video. And if you want your first date in 30 days, be sure to book your free game plan. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. You guys take it easy and stay blessed.